Okay, this is it. So we are done with the three topics, namely reference angles in degrees and in radians, signs of trigonometric functions, and the trigonometric functions of special and quadrantal angles. So, just like I said before, kailangan po natin itong mga videos na to. So, kung di nyo pa napanood, please do watch in order to better understand the next topic, which is evaluating trigonometric functions without using calculator. Okay? So, wag na po nating pahabain. Let's get started. Find the exact value of each trigonometric function without the use of a calculator. So, number 1, sine of 210 degrees. So, paano nga po ba natin kukunin ang sine ng 210 na hindi gagamit ng calculator? So, just like what I said in our previous videos, kailangan po natin ang concept ng reference angle, special theorems on right triangle, and the signs of trigonometric functions, no? So, that is why meron na po akong pinrepare dito na coordinate system and special triangle 30, 60, 90 kasi ito po yung ating mga gagamitin in order to complete the task, no? So, going back to sine 210, ano po ang first step? The first step is to locate 210 degrees dito sa ating coordinate system and find its reference angle. Why? Kasi ang angle po and its reference angle have the same function value. Pareho lang po sila ng function value. They only differ in signs, no? Kasi magkaiba po sila ng quadrant. I think na-mention ko na po yan. So, let us now locate 210 degrees. So, where is 210 degrees? 210 degrees is somewhere here in the third quadrant, no? Why? Because this is 180, no? So, magdadagdag ka lang ng 30 ay 210 na. So, this is 210 degrees, no? Somewhere here. From this point up to this point. Yan po ang 210 degrees. Now, where is the reference angle of 210 degrees? Ano nga uli ang definition ng reference angle? The reference angle is the positive acute angle made by the terminal side. Ito po yung terminal side ng ating angle. Dito po nag-stop yung rotation with the x-axis, no? The positive acute angle made by the terminal with the x-axis. So, ibahin po natin ang kulay para makita ninyo ang kanyang reference angle. Ito po yun, no? The positive acute angle made by the terminal with the x-axis. Now, ano po ang measurement ng angle na to? Di po ba, para makuha yan, tatanggalin lang natin ito. This part of the angle, di po ba? And that is 210 minus 180. So that makes it 30 degrees. Di ba? Okay? So the reference angle of sine of 210 is 30 degrees. So ilagay po natin yun dito. Reference angle of 210. Okay. Equals 30 degrees. Now, siguro naman alam niyo na kung ano magiging role nitong ating 30, 60, 90, no? Gagamitin po natin ito in order to find the sine of 30. Bakit sine of 30? Kasi sine 210 po ito. Ang sine ng 30 ay pareho lang po ng sine 210. As I said a while ago, no? Magkaiba lang po sila ng sine, no? Okay, so what is sine of 30? So with respect to 30 degrees, this is our opposite side and this is the hypotenuse. So sine 30, okay, is equal to 1 over 2 or 1/2, no? Opposite over hypotenuse. So sine 30 is 1/2. So if sine 30 is 1/2, then sine 210 is also 1/2, no? Now, ano po ang sine ng 210, no? Just like in our previous video na tinuro ko sa inyo, yung signs of trigonometric functions, si sine ay sumusunod lang sa sine ni y coordinates, no? Now, ang 210 ay nandito po sa third quadrant and y is negative in the third quadrant kasi nasa ibaba po yung y natin dito. Okay? And therefore, this is negative 1/2. Okay? Now, you can check this with your calculator, no? Tingnan niyo po kung ang sine ng 210 ay talagang negative 1/2. Okay? So that's it. Okay, let's go to number 2. What is cosine of 300? No? So again, let us locate 300 degrees. Where is 300 degrees in our coordinate system? If this is 270, then 300 degrees must be somewhere here in the fourth quadrant. Di po ba? Mag-a-add lang ulit tayo ng 30 degrees. So 300 degrees is from this point up to this point. Yan po ang ating 300 degrees. And where is the reference angle? So sabi natin, the reference angle is the positive acute angle made by the terminal with the x-axis. Ito po ang terminal side, ito po ang x-axis. So the reference angle is this angle. And what is the measurement of this angle? Hindi po ba para makuha natin yan, ile-less lang po natin itong 300 from the complete rotation, 360. And 360 minus 300 is 60 degrees. So the reference angle is 60 degrees. So again, isulat po natin dito ang reference angle natin para malinaw. Reference angle is equal to 60 degrees. Now, again, let's go back to our special right triangle. O kaya tayo 30, 60, 90, no? Because the reference angle of 300 degrees is 60 degrees. Nandito rin yan sa 30, 60, 90. And the cosine of 60, o bakit po cosine ang hinahanap natin? Kasi cosine 300 po ang ating kinukuha, no? And cosine of 60 is equal to what? Cosine function is adjacent over hypotenuse. So with respect to 60 degrees, ang adjacent side po natin ay 1 at ang ating hypotenuse ay 2. So cosine of 60 is also equal to 1 over 2 or 1/2, no? And therefore cosine 300 is also 1/2. Now, all we need to do now is to check the sign, no? Pareho ba sila ng sign ni 60 o magkaiba po sila? Tingnan po natin kung nasa ang quadrant sila. 300 degrees is in the fourth quadrant, no? And cosine is positive in the fourth quadrant. Bakit po? Kasi positive po ang x natin dito. Nasa right side yung x natin. So this is also positive 1/2. In other words, pareho lang pong positive 1/2 ang cosine 60 natin at cosine 300. Why? Kasi ang 60 naman natin, ang 60 degrees is somewhere here in the first quadrant and x is also positive in the first quadrant. Kaya nga po pareho silang 1/2. Okay? So again, you can check that with your calculator. Tingnan nyo po kung ang cosine 300 ay talagang 1/2. Okay? And that's it. Okay, number 3, tangent of 315 degrees. So again, let us locate 315 degrees. 315 degrees is somewhere here in the fourth quadrant, no? Why? Because 315 is 270 plus 45. So nandito po siya sa gitna, no? Gitna niyan ay 45 degrees. So from this point up to this point is 315 degrees. Okay? Now, where is the reference angle? Again, the reference angle is the angle made by the positive acute angle made by the terminal side with the x-axis. And that angle is this angle. Now, what is the measurement of this angle? So para makuha natin yan, we only need to subtract this angle from the complete rotation. This is one complete rotation, right? That's 360. Pag dinanggal natin yung 315, eto na po yung angle na yon, yung reference angle natin. So 360 minus 315 is 45 degrees. So 45 degrees is our reference angle, okay? So isulat po natin yan. Reference angle is 45 degrees. So since 45 degrees is our reference angle, we now go back to our 45, 45, 90 right triangle, no? And get the tangent of 45. So what is tangent of 45? So we can use either of these two angles kasi pareho naman po yung 45. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So that is 1 over 1 or 1, no? 1 over 1 or 1. Okay? So, if tangent 45 is 1, then tangent of 315 is also 1. Okay? Now, how about the sign, no? Pareho ba silang positive 1? 315 is here in the fourth quadrant, no? Sabi natin, ang tangent natin ay positive kapag ang sign ni x and y ay pareho. It's either both are positive or both are negative. Now, if they have different signs, kung isa sa kanila positive and the other one's negative or vice versa, then tangent and cotangent are negative, no? So since we are in the fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative, then tangent is negative in this quadrant. So tan of 315 is negative 1. And that's it, no? Number 4, cosecant of 240 degrees. So again, let us locate 240 degrees. So 240 degrees is somewhere here in the third quadrant, no? Because 240 is 180 plus 60. So it must be somewhere here. Okay? So from this point up to this point is 240 degrees. Now, where is our reference angle? No? So the reference angle is the positive acute angle made by the terminal with the x-axis. So that reference angle is this angle. And what is the measurement of this angle? So this is actually 240 minus 180, right? Tatanggalin lang natin to. And 240 minus 180 is 60 degrees. So our reference angle this time is 60 degrees. So isulat natin yan dito. Reference angle is 60 degrees. So since our reference angle is 60, we will now go back to our 30, 60, 90 triangle, no? And since cosecant is the reciprocal function of sine, so how do we get cosecant of 60? We know that the sine function is opposite over hypotenuse. Therefore, cosecant is hypotenuse over the opposite, no? And with respect to 60-degree angle, our opposite side is square root of 3. So cosecant 60, therefore, is 2 over square root of 3. Hypotenuse over the opposite. And then we rationalize, multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. Then we get 2 square root of 3 over 3. Okay? And therefore, the cosecant of 240, since the reference angle is 60, is also 2 square root of 3 over 3. Now, let's go to the sign, no? What is the sign of cosecant 240? So, since 240 degrees is in the third quadrant nga, no? And remember that the sign of sine function and cosecant functions are the same because they are reciprocal function. So cosecant also follows the sign of the y coordinates, no? And since y is negative in the third quadrant, then cosecant is also negative in the third quadrant. So cosecant 240 is negative 2 square root of 3 over 3. Okay, number 5, secant of 135 degrees. So again, let us locate 135 degrees. So 135 degrees is somewhere here in the second quadrant, no? Because that is 90 plus 45. So nandito yan sa gitna, no? 90 plus 45 degrees. So from this point up to this point is 135 degrees. So where is the reference angle? The reference angle is the positive acute angle made by the terminal with the x-axis. So that reference angle is this one, no? And what is the measurement of this angle? That is actually 180 minus 135, no? Tatanggalin natin itong part na to. And that is equal to 45 degrees. Okay, so our reference angle this time is 45 degrees. Reference angle is 45 degrees. So let us now go back to our 45, 45, 90, no? So since secant is the reciprocal function of cosine, so how do we get secant of 45 degrees? Since cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, then secant is hypotenuse over adjacent, no? Okay. So secant 45 is square root of 2 over the adjacent, which is equal to 1. Okay. Or square root of 2. Secant of 135 is also equal to square root of 2. Now, how about the sine? So since 135 degrees is in the second quadrant, and secant follows the sine of cosine, and cosine follows the sine of the x-coordinate, then since the x-coordinate in the second quadrant is negative, then secant must be negative. Okay, number 6, cotangent of 510 degrees. Now, how do we locate 510 degrees? Notice that 510 degrees is more than one rotation already, no? And 510 actually is what? This is equal to 360 plus 150, right? Okay, so kung i-construct natin yung angle na yan, that is one complete rotation, 360 plus 150. 150 is somewhere in the second quadrant, no? That's 90 plus 60. So, yeah, no? So, this is our 510 degrees, okay? That's more than one rotation already. And, of course, where is the reference angle? The reference angle is the positive acute angle made by the terminal side. Ito po yung ating terminal side with the x-axis, no? So this is our terminal angle. Now, since this is 150, no? This angle is 150. Ileles lang po natin yan sa 180. Saan galing yung 150? Dito po galing yun, ano? Okay, yung natira sa 360 sa 510 ay 150. So, 180 minus 150 is 30 degrees. So, 30 degrees is our reference angle. Okay? So, sulat po natin yan. So, reference angle is 30 degrees. Okay. So, since the reference angle is 30, we now go back to our 30, 60, 90 triangle, no? And how do we get the cotangent of 30 degrees? So since the reciprocal function of cotangent is tangent, and tangent is opposite over adjacent, then cotangent is adjacent over opposite, no? So with respect to 30 degrees, adjacent over opposite is square root of 3 over 1, or square root of 3. Okay? Therefore, cotangent of 510 is also equal to square root of 3. Now, sa sine na lang po tayo, no? What is the sine of cotangent 510? At ang sabi natin, ang sine ng cotangent and tangent natin ay positive kung x and y ay pareho ng sine, parehong positive or parehong negative, o negative sila kung magkaiba ang sine ng x and y natin, no? Because tangent and cotangent follows the quotient rule. So, since in the second quadrant, magkaiba po ang sign ng y and x natin. Y is positive here and x is negative here. Then cotangent is negative. Cotangent 510. Okay? Okay, last number 7. So, tangent of 60 over sine 30 minus cosine 45 degrees. Now, dahil ito ang ating pang-finale, pinagsama-sama na po natin yung tatlong basic functions. So we have sine, cosine, and tangent. Now, kung mapapansin nyo, wala din po tayong rectangular coordinate system na, no? Why? Kasi hindi na natin kailangan, no? Hindi natin kailangan hanapin pa ang reference angle. Kasi lahat ng angle na binigay ay special angles, 30, 45, and 60. That is why we have two special right triangles instead, no? The 45, 45, 90 and the 30, 60, 90. Okay, so let's proceed. What is tangent of 60? tangents of 60 can be directly acquired from 30, 60, 90. Di ba? What is tangent of 60? That is opposite over the adjacent. Now, the side opposite 60 is square root of 3 and the adjacent side is 1. So that is equal to square root of 3 over 1. Di ba? Over sine of 30. Sine of 30 is opposite over hypotenuse. So that is equal to 1/2 minus cosine of 45. So cosine of 45, again, we can use either of these two angles. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that is 1 over square root of 2. No? Now, 1 over square root of 2, when you rationalize, is square root of 2 over 2. O, lagi natin ginagawa yan, no? Kaya dinaretso ko na para mapabilis tayo. Okay? Now, let us simplify. The square root of 3 over 1 is square root of 3 over, we can combine these two. So, since we have the same denominator, kokopyahin lang po natin yung numerator, no? So, that's how you subtract fraction. Ayan. Now, how do you divide fractions? Diba? We multiply the numerator, square root of 3, by the reciprocal of the denominator. So, the reciprocal is 2 over 1 minus square root of 2. So, what is the product? Square root of 3 times 2 is 2 square root of 3. O, huwag nyo pong i-multiply yan, ano? Hindi pwede. Kopyahin nyo lang po yan. Over 1 minus square root of 2. And then we rationalize, no? We multiply it by the conjugate of the denominator. 1 plus square root of 2 over 1 plus square root of 2. So, what do we do with the numerator? I-distribute po natin yan. 2 square root of 3 times 1 is 2 square root of 3. 2 square root of 3 times square root of 2 is 2 square root of 6, no? So, plus 2 square root of 6 over, this is product of sum and difference. Pagka product of sum and difference, konting review sa algebra, A minus B times A plus B. Product of sum and difference, we just multiply the first term and the last terms, no? A squared minus B squared. So, yan po ang gagamitin natin dito. 1 times 1 is 1. Negative square root of 2 times square root of 2 is negative 2. So, the final answer is 2 square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 6 over negative 1. Now, we can simplify further. No? We can divide each term by negative 1. So, that is negative 2 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 6. And that's it. No? Hindi na po pwedeng isimplify yan. Okay, so, the final answer is minus 2 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 6. Again, you can check that with your calculator. Tingnan nyo po kung tama ang ating sagot. But definitely, that is correct. Okay? That's it. That concludes our lesson for today. Sana marami kayong natutunan. Next stop, verifying trigonometric identities. Sana umabot sa magpa-finals next month. So, watch out for that. So, for the meantime, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye!